I am completely certain that your feline companion lacks absolutely nothing while living by your side, but I am also convinced that you want to confirm it. That is exactly why we are here today. We are going to explore the undeniable signs indicating that you are taking perfectly good care of your cat. Pay close attention because there is one specific biological signal that many people completely misunderstand, yet it remains one of the most important indicators of their well-being. Let us dive right in and discover if your home is providing the exact environment your cat needs to thrive. Let us begin with what is immediately visible to the naked eye: your cat's fur. When your cat regularly grooms themselves and their coat looks shiny, strong, and incredibly lush, that is a fantastic physical indicator of their overall health. It proves that they are well nourished and that there are no chronic stressful situations occurring within your home. That profound sense of physical health reflects directly in their fur. When something goes wrong in a feline's biological system, the very first place we usually notice it is on their exterior. It acts as a silent physiological alarm. Fur that suddenly looks greasy, matted, clumped together, or separated into little spikes instead of being smooth is a clear warning sign. In some cases, you might even start to notice dandruff. These visual changes indicate that something is not functioning as it should. At first glance, you might not know exactly what is failing, but it gives you an immediate clue that your cat has reduced their grooming routine. Sometimes a physical issue is preventing them from reaching certain areas of their body, which happens frequently if a cat is overweight. So, if you observe that your companion maintains a meticulous grooming routine, cleaning themselves thoroughly after a long nap, right after a meal, or while resting quietly beside you, that's a wonderful sign. Moving on to another incredibly important physical marker: maintaining a stable body weight. If your cat keeps their physical figure relatively steady over time, it generally means their health is excellent. When cats begin to experience internal health issues or face circumstances causing them chronic environmental stress, it is incredibly common for them to slowly start losing weight. It is usually a gradual loss, but as time passes, it becomes visibly evident. Therefore, when you see that your cat's weight remains completely steady, it shows that they are eating properly and maintaining a healthy level of physical activity. But what happens if we notice they are looking a little rounder than usual? If your cat is just a tiny bit chubby, we won't obsess over a few grams. However, if your cat is suffering from actual obesity, struggling to move, having difficulty jumping onto furniture, or feeling completely soft with no palpable ribs, that can indicate a serious problem. Obesity in cats is closely linked to other severe secondary conditions like feline diabetes. Even though we are not seeking absolute perfection, monitoring their weight regularly is a crucial part of ensuring their physical well-being is on the right track. Next, we need to talk about the litter box. This might be the least glamorous part of our discussion, but it is undeniably one of the most vital. Think of those deposits as little hidden treasures of biological information. If your cat is well cared for, their stool should look remarkably consistent day after day. Generally, it should have a firm consistency and a dark brown color. How many times should you expect to find these in the litter box each day? Typically, a healthy cat will defecate about twice a day. If they go 3 times, there is no need to sound the alarm. Just like humans, cats can have days where their digestion fluctuates. It is not a major concern unless you notice it persisting over time, especially if accompanied by physical behavioral cues like lethargy, a sudden loss of appetite, or vomiting. If everything else seems completely normal and they just have one slightly softer stool, they might have simply eaten a bit too quickly. In general terms, the ideal scenario is that your cat's deposits are uniform and clearly identifiable, not scattered chaotically. Seeing a perfectly formed stool is a massive indicator that your cat's gastrointestinal health is excellent. If the solid waste is important, the liquid waste is equally telling. When a cat's renal and urinary systems are perfectly healthy, their urine clumps usually form relatively large cohesive mass in the litter. Cats are creatures of habit, so you will often find these clumps in the exact same corner of the box every single day. You should expect to find a solid, large clump rather than finding multiple tiny scattered pieces spread all over the sand. Seeing those tiny separated clumps can be a major physiological warning sign that your cat is straining or having difficulty urinating, which is frequently linked to serious bladder issues. If your cat produces large normal clumps, their system is functioning perfectly. Frequency is also a key factor. Cats generally urinate more often than they defecate, so finding about 4 or 5 clumps a day is a great baseline. I like to call this the silent normality. When everything is going perfectly well, you barely even notice it. The danger is that changes happen so slowly that we sometimes normalize things that aren't actually healthy. That is why it is so important to visually monitor their daily output. Let us shift to their physical energy directed toward you. Does your cat actively seek you out to play? Do they appear with their tail held high the moment you walk through the front door? Or perhaps they approach you with their tail shaped like a little question mark. This is absolutely fantastic news. A raised tail is an unmistakable biological signal that they come in peace and are genuinely happy to greet you. When the tail forms a question mark, it shows a healthy sense of feline curiosity. They are mentally stimulated and actively looking to interact with their environment and their humans. It might seem like a minor detail, but a cat's posture speaks volumes. Exceptional care reflects not only in their physical health, but also in their behavioral balance. An unwell cat simply will not insist on playing. They will withdraw, lose their spark, and spend all day hiding. Seeing this vibrant, engaging physical energy proves they are thriving by your side. Another beautiful physical behavioral cue is when your cat specifically seeks you out to rest. If they approach you while you are lounging, start kneading your leg, or decide to sleep right next to you, this is a clear message that they feel incredibly secure. When our cats rest, they are exposing a very vulnerable part of their daily routine. If they did not completely trust their environment, they would instinctively hide, preferring to sleep in a secluded area where they feel protected from potential predators. If your cat chooses to drop their guard and sleep openly beside you, it is a clear signal that your coexistence is harmonious. A quick reminder, some cats, due to their unique genetics, are simply not super clingy. The real key here is establishing a baseline. As long as you haven't noticed a sudden negative change in their normal resting behavior, their emotional state is absolutely fine. Now, we arrive at what is probably the most misunderstood biological signal of them all. Many people assume this behavior indicates something negative, when in reality, it is the exact opposite. I am talking about the famous Zoomies, those sudden moments of frantic running your cat experiences. People often see their cat become hyperactive sprinting down the hallway, and they assume the cat is terrified. It has absolutely nothing to do with fear. Cats naturally have moments in the day where they need to burn off pent-up physical energy. These bursts of speed actually indicate that they are healthy and living in an environment that gives them the security to let loose. If you pay attention, the Zoomies often coincide with the times of day when felines would naturally become active in the wild, such as dusk, dawn, or midnight. It is incredibly important for your cat's physical and mental health to express these bursts of activity. Do not correct them, and do not interrupt this behavior. It is a vital physiological release. Let us talk about environmental peace. If there is a sudden terrifying crash, it is completely normal for any cat's fight or flight response to trigger, causing them to hide. But when your home maintains a normal, everyday level of activity, a well-cared-for cat will not react with panic. If daily noises like flushing the toilet, running the dishwasher, or turning on the washing machine do not send them fleeing, it means they view those sounds as a safe baseline. They feel incredibly secure in their territory. In fact, it is very common for cats to habituate to rather loud activities like vacuuming the living room or hearing the doorbell. They eventually accept it without a spike in their stress hormones. If your cat can rest peacefully while you go about your noisy daily chores, it is a testament to the safe, secure home you have provided. If I had to choose just one overarching sign that indicates a cat is perfectly cared for, It would undoubtedly be their general level of physical activity. A thriving cat wants to move, wants to explore, and actively engages with their surroundings. If a cat can eat well, drink well, move freely, and exhibit normal feline behaviors throughout the day, they are in excellent health. Tell us your cat's name in the comments below.